Hello, everybody. So let's talk about the released players for DC. Uh, First, let's talk about uh, obviously the most important one and the one that's got the most attention, Rishabh Pant, not getting retained by Delhi. What are your thoughts, Rahul?
I mean, yeah, viewers might be surprised that we didn't mention Rishabh Pant's name once in the previous episode, but here we are. I mean, I have a lot to say about it, but just to keep it short, I mean, like, I can't believe you'd release such a high quality player. I know he's not been up to the mark in T20 cricket. He's been more productive in Test cricket and ODI cricket. He's still such a quality player, and he still has age on his side, and he can bat in the middle order. He can wicket keep. He can captain. He gives you that three-in-one player, which you're gonna have such a hard time finding the auction. And an Indian player, just good luck finding that. And even if you find that, good luck getting him for under 25 crores. Uh, I don't know if it was related to money or anything. I think, if I'm not wrong, there was a rumor that Rishabh Pant came out and said a statement that it's not related to money, that his retention was not related to money. But if 18 crores is not a huge price to pay for Rishabh Pant. And there's
Mhm.
also rumors that it's because of DC not looking to give him the captaincy. But I mean, it's just I don't understand it. I feel Rishabh Pant is definitely worth 18 crores, especially considering all the different facets he brings. And you can still give him that opportunity to captain the team because I'm pretty sure he took them to the playoffs, or he's taken them really close to the playoffs
Yeah.
almost every
Mm.
year. So he's been doing some stuff right, and he seems like a guy who can bring the best out of people, and seems like a natural leader in general. You know, the way he can cope with high pressure situations, like we saw at the GABA in a test match. He can cope with high pressure situations for sure, and I just feel that's what is the biggest skill in a captain. So I don't know why they would have refused to give him the captaincy, and that's why he leaves. So it's a shocker for me. I mean, I would have tried to convince him to stay back no matter what, because that kind of player, that kind of skill set, you're not going to get for cheap in the auction.
Yeah, and he's one of those players that you could probably build around as a franchise, and we'll probably be seeing that in the auction later today. So,
Project Ponting,
yeah, Project Ponting. I mean, I'm certainly might go somewhere like Punjab, but we'll see how the other teams bid
definitely
on
going
him.
there.
Yeah. All right. Next player is a legend in his own right. T20 legend, ODI legend, David Warner, the Australian. Uh, Maybe his time in the IPL has run its course, but he's still a very talented player. Rahul, what are your thoughts on him?
I mean, he's the best overseas batter the IPL has seen, simply put. There's a You can make a case for him or AB de Villiers, but I'd say they're on par with the most consistent overseas batters in the IPL. I mean, he's a legend, absolute legend, for both Australia and his IPL franchises. We know how he carried SRH with the bat, and for Delhi, he hasn't had the same impact, but I mean, he's still a quality player. Uh, and I feel that he would go for a decent amount at the auction, maybe 4 to 5 crores. But it makes sense that Delhi Capitals didn't choose to retain him. He's on the wrong side of 35. He's 38 right now. I don't know if he has 3 more years of quality cricket left in him, and he's definitely not worth 11 crores. He'd go cheaper in the auction, for sure. So with that taken into consideration, it was a good release.
You think they could look to buy him back or no?
He won't be too expensive, and they have a good person left as well. So if he's within 6 crores, I think they'd go for it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if he's the same David Warner as old with the aggression, and his strike rate has been of question, but I still think he'll be a quality player on a ground like the Firoz Shah Kotla and in Delhi where the ball comes onto the bat. So I see him going somewhere like RCB, MI, or DC. Those are the three places. Or back to SRH also, but actually never mind. SRH has two openers locked in and loaded. So
Yeah.
my prediction is either RCB, MI, or back to DC.
Mm. Seeing him open with Kohli would be a very fun watch, I'd say. So, all right, next one is Khalil Ahmed. He was very good for DC at times last year, and he's really grown as a player, I'd say. So, Rahul, what are your thoughts on DC actually releasing him?
I think he's one of those guys that look to RTM because
Hmm.
he has that quality with the new ball. You know, he can swing it both ways. It's a treat to watch him bowl. and he has that knack of picking up wickets with the new ball, and he can come back later on and also pick wickets. So I think he's someone they'll definitely look to buy back. So I don't think they released him to just let go of him. He's definitely gonna come back to Delhi, I think, with the RTM card.
Hmm. No, yeah, I completely agree with you. All right, next player we're going to talk about is Jake Fraser McGurk. What a player he was last year in the IPL, striking at an incredible rate, opening uh, for DC last year. He just took the IPL by storm out of nowhere, and that was incredible to watch. But this past calendar year, he's struggled for form, and I don't know. It kind of makes sense that DC looked to release him. What are your thoughts, Rahul?
Talentful performance nillu. I mean, he has all the talent in the world, and he has all the shots, but it's just he's one of those guys who I just think he's a flat track bully at this point in his career because we saw him on the slowish pitches at the MLC here in the USA. He struggled. Uh, he's been struggling for Australia and the opportunities he's got. Uh, Apart from the IPL where he took everyone by storm, he hasn't really put in performances on the pitches that haven't been as true in his nature and come onto the bat. So I mean, I see the talent, but he needs to. I feel he needs to get more composure. But he is a young player, so I think DC will try to go back from just because of the impact he had for Delhi. But I really don't like the way he plays on more slowish wickets. But considering it's Delhi and it's the pitches have been roads and the ground is so small, I feel like Delhi Capitals will definitely try to put their other RTM to get Jake Fraser McGurk back just because of the impact he can have on that ground. I mean, if he like regardless of the pitch, I mean, I've said he's not that good on the slowish pitches, but if he manages to get going and develops the skill to play on those tracks, I mean, he can win you a game single-handedly within the power play
Hmm.
itself. He's that kind of impactful player you can't find out there that much. So that free-flowing nature is something I think Delhi would want to get back. So anywhere within 8 crores, 9 crores, I think definitely they're going to put the RTM on it.
Yeah, and we saw multiple times last year. He set them up really well in the power play. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
he's a one to watch for sure in this auction. Next up, I want to bring up two people, Mitch Marsh and Henrik Norkia. Two players who didn't really do much for Delhi last year, but we know uh, they have quality. So what are your thoughts, Rahul?
Yeah, Nokia performed like Nokia Mobile last year, but uh I
Old
mean,
washed.
yeah, he's a quality bowler. I mean, we saw in the T20 World Cup the way he was bowling absolute thunderbolts. But I mean, even in that pitch, even if you or I bowled, I think we would have got the ball to bounce and move. That New York pitch was demon for all batters.
Minefield, bro. Minefield.
Yeah, but regardless, he's a quality bowler. We've seen him bowl some really good Yorkers at the death, you know, pressure people in the middle overs with his pace. But last year just wasn't his year, and I think he was coming off an injury as well, so couldn't put in his best performance. But yeah, he's definitely not worth an 18 crore, 11 crore retention. But he's someone they can buy back for cheap, considering he doesn't have uh, jaw-dropping numbers over the past year. So they might be able to get a steal on him in the auction. As far as Mitchell Marsh is concerned, you don't know when he'll get injured next. I mean, he's been better at it in the recent past with managing his fitness, but uh, as far as the quality of the player is concerned, no doubting he's a quality player. He can bat at number three and be his destructive self. He can give you a couple of overs as well. But again, I don't think he's worth 11 crores, especially considering his track record of injuries. So yeah, both of them were good releases.
Yeah, I really want to see where Mitch Marsh goes in the auction.
I think
Maybe
he'd be really good in MI or Bangalore, but I don't want him in Bangalore. I'd rather have some other players.
No, and that Mumbai with their Indian core, just to bring in a
Yeah.
great pace bowling all-rounder, that would be really solid for them. All right, now let's briefly mention some of the lesser players. Not nothing against them, but Mukesh Kumar, touted for his death bowling ability. I don't know about that, but he's been solid at times. He can take wickets at the death. He gets
And give
hit,
30
but
runs in 2 overs.
yes, yeah, that'll always come with Mukesh Kumar. But he's played for India. He's a solid, and I also wanted to mention Prithvi Shaw. Once touted as the next Sachin, I guess by some, but He's struggled in many facets uh, of cricket life. But uh, Rahul, do you have any other players you want to talk about as well as these two?
I mean, first Prithvi Shaw's country, unfortunately, he couldn't even live up to the chin in Sachin. I mean, I don't know. It's sad because he was touted to be the next big thing in Indian cricket. Uh, won an under 19 World Cup for India as well. And the quality of the shots he plays is magnificent. I mean, he has all the shots in the book. When he came out into the scene in the IPL, he was so fascinating to watch. His cover drive is something of beauty. His pull shot is outstanding. He has such a beautiful flick as well. Unfortunately, something's just gone wrong over the last 2, 3 years. A drop in performances, drop in fitness. Um, it's just been sad to see his decline. But at the end of the day, he still has age on his side. And I
Mhm.
feel like if he can get his discipline together, because that's the main thing, he needs to get his discipline together. He needs to get his fitness together and just bat long in the nets. Because I feel like that discipline part of his life is not there. I feel like he needs to have a a realization like Virat Kohli to just drop all these bad habits and just become as fit as he can be. Because I think if he gets fit, he still has the natural talent to take him somewhere. So I think team he would go at a low price in this auction, but he'd be a steal anywhere he goes if he can actually get his discipline together. And what was the other player you mentioned?
Mukesh Kumar.
Yeah, I mean, touted to be a death bowler. I don't know, man. He just gives up so many runs, and I see the skill. I don't know how he made it into the Indian side, to be honest. Based off of one half of a good IPL season, just made it into the Indian side in all three formats. I don't understand how that happened, but personally, I don't see him. He has nailed some Yorkers, yes, but he's not been consistent enough to actually warrant permanent spot in the lineup, and I think it's a good release. They might look to get him back and struggle for another 3 years, but that's on them if they do.
Yeah,
And he
we'll
doesn't
see
have
in the
age on his
auction.
side either, I'm pretty sure. He's 32, I think. So
Yeah, I know it's on the other side of 30. Any other players you want to mention, Rahul?
hey, give me 1 second, my parents are calling me.
Okay. Hello, everybody. You're waiting patiently. ASMR. Got that. Okay.
Okay. So good. What
I was giving a
any other
little bit
players?
ASMR. Yeah, let me
And
a bit. Never mind. Okay. Three, two, one. Rahul, are there any other players you want to mention?
yeah, like I mentioned in the retention video, Rasik Dar, I thought he should have been the uncapped retention. I had Abhishek Pearl. I thought he should have been in the pecking order, like higher in the pecking order, just because of the impact he had for them on that graveyard of a pitch in Delhi to bowl at like a decent economy and also pick wickets at the death. He has a cunning Yorker, good slower balls, back of the hand deliveries, and he's someone you can groom to be like a really good death bowler. And he showed that last year itself. He showed the skill. So I'm surprised they didn't retain him. I thought he should have been given some consideration. And then I like my boy Ishant Sharma. Just wanted to throw him a shout out there. Such a legend of Indian cricket. So just wanted to give him a shout out there. Bowled decently for DC last year. Hope he gets taken at base price or around that. Hope he gets taken by a team just for the experience he has. Maybe
Mhm.
reunite with Virat Kohli, his childhood friend, or
That would
not
be so
childhood, but
fun.
like friend at RCB. A bit of tricks, and then also, Lalit Yadav, he's someone who didn't get too much of a chance at Delhi last season, but he's shown to be a decent all-rounder, can bowl you some off spin, the power play in the middle overs, can bat later down the order and hit some runs as well. So he's one name I want to look at where he goes because he has shown some skill as an all-round option. So I feel like he would go to some team for around 3 to 4 crores and then maybe could be used maybe on like a pitch like Lucknow can give you 2, 3 overs with the ball and contribute with the bat as well, similar to like how Ayush Badoni operates for them. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's all I had for DC mainly. We covered most of the players.
Yep.
And then Yash
And
Dul
with
as well.
the
Sorry, I forgot
oh
about
yeah,
Yash
go on.
Dul, under 19 winning captain Yash Dul. I want to see where he goes as well. Technically sound batter. So just want to see if he gets picked up at base price or how expensive he goes. Not won't be surprised if DC try and buy him back just because of the uh, credentials he has as an under 19 winning captain and
Mm.
DC's tendency to take all of them and put them in the team. So won't be surprised to see him come back.
Mm. Yeah, they
But
had
yeah, that's
a lot of yeah, they had a lot of young and promising players on their team. So we'll see how much of them they decide to bring back. But yeah, that should be it for all the release players, or at least the ones worth mentioning. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about their auction strategy. That'll be very interesting to see that. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time.